Would-be adventurers from the 90s, have no fear. Your existence has been validated.
About time. I've been waiting for someone to remember the little guys. Preferably the ones with rockin' jetpacks.
Yep, rocket jetpacks, swords, and a mean streak of baddies that are in his way.
Ooh.
So the good old boys at Limited Run Games have brought to us a new classic.
Yep, they brought back Rocket Knight Adventures in a new collection called Resparked, which I'm playing through the Nintendo Switch, which, man, I can't believe it's taken this long for these games to finally get proper port-ups since ever.
Yeah.
I want to say, I don't think they've ever gone a port job ever. I think it was just the original console release back then.
Yeah, no, like the original game, the sequels, like they never got port-ups, like at all, not until recently. And it's so weird too, because right around 2010 was when Konami thought to themselves, you know what? Why don't we let our boys down at Climax make a reboot for this game that most people don't have access to play unless they submit to emulation?
Right.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, but I mean, you know what? Better late than never, because, you know, the world needs to remember that Rocket Knight Adventures is a thing, because this was released back in the heyday of the 90s classic platformer with attitude era, and of the many that came and went, this one was the most deserving to really keep going, because I'd say this one's, like, especially with the first game, the quality of the game is very much up there with, you know, the originals, like, the guy that started it all, good old Sonic the Hedgehog and whatnot.
Right. I think that, as you'll soon see, like, the mechanics of, like, your movement and how you interact with enemies and the world, I think that it had enough going for it that it didn't... And the fact that it went through the trouble of, like, having linear levels, none of that, you know, you're in a giant maze, you have to follow the arrow. Like, I feel like it learned enough of the right lessons from Sonic to have some staying power.
Right, so I guess before we do start on the game proper, let's get a little know-how on what we're going into here. Okay. So the world of Rocket Knight Adventures is called Elhorn, where warriors, magic, and machinery live in coexistence, more or less. Okay. Our primary set piece is the Kingdom of Zebulos, which is pretty much the prosperous land of the enigmatic possum people.
Fair. Okay, so
and their main enemies, the pigs, in a long time past, tried to take it over through the use of a totally not cliched starship way up in the heavens called the Pig Star. But thankfully, the brave Knights of Zebulos put a stop to that and put it under lock and key, which is now currently in the possession of the current royal family of Zebulos. We primarily play as a Rocket Knight named Sparkster, who is also the leader of said Rocket Knights.
Okay.
And as of recently, the Kingdom of Zebulos has come under attack by the evil Devotendos Empire.
And I also read there really quick that apparently there was a corrupt knight, like a knight went rogue and betrayed everyone.
Oh yes, actually, I'd argue that this corrupt knight is actually probably the closest thing this series has to a main antagonist, even though he's usually second fiddle more than anything. The dreaded Axelgear.
He just kind of looks like a slightly stockier version of us, but fair enough.
Yeah, he's kind of a dickbag, though, because not only did he betray the Order of the Rocket Knights, he also fatally wounded Sparkster's mentor, for lack of a better word, and Sparkster's been on the hunt for him ever since, and every time he finds him, he always finds them up in, pretty much in leagues with the big bads of the games. In this game's case, especially, the leader of the Devotendos Empire, Lord Devilgus.
Most people, his friends call him
Devlagus.
His friends call him Gus Gus.
God damn it, Gus. What a hell of a character art for a good old Gus Gus.
Yeah.
But that all said, now that you more or less get the nitty gritty of what to expect from this game, why don't we go ahead and get started?
Sounds good.
Okay.
First things first, though, I'd like to show off the Japanese original version of the game. Don't worry, this will be incredibly brief, but between the two versions of the game, there's a few things that we in the West didn't get with our version.
Let's see.
First and foremost, the difficulty settings for this game are actually a little more generous in that the normal mode gives you 3 lives and 5 continues, and hard mode gives you that much.
Oh.
And when you start the game off, it actually gives us a completely different opening.
Let's see.
Or the Kingdom of Zebulus is, it's living in
Oh, look
peace.
at that little
But
dog.
then the evil Empire of Devatendos came and attacked.
Where did the sun go?
Whoa.
There's something about,
I
like,
am your son now!
I see Devil Ghost, but some of those little goons just.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. Though I do like the fact that every stage starts off with the orchestra, just plays out their tune before, Sparkster himself jumps right in. That being said, that's pretty much where the differences with the Japanese version end. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the Western release.
Okay.
Okay. I guess as far as the UI and all this, how this is all handling, what would you say is like the closest recent?
Oh, by the way, real quick.
Yes.
The default difficulty for this game is easy, where you have 2 lives and 3 continues. Normal mode only gives you 1 of each. And then on hard mode, you don't even get any continues.
Ow.
Also, just because, just to really stick it to the big babies of the 90s gaming, there's also a children's mode, which gives you the pretty more or less the same amount of lives and continues that normal mode in the Japanese release gave us.
So don't be a coward. Remember that if it was normal for them, it can be just fine for us.
Right. Which, that being said, I will be sticking to the game's easy mode, because even on easy mode, this game definitely does not pull any punches during the latter half.
That's what I figure. Alright, and we'll go. But yeah, so I guess as far as the UI and how this is all handling, what would you say is another port collection that this reminds you of in terms of its execution?
Dead offhand, I really can't think of any off the top of my head.
Because what sort of quality of life features did this bring to us to the table?
Well, pretty simple stuff. You can, you got your save states, your load states. You can also rewind if you feel like you could do better with your progress. Otherwise, this game is I'll say this much: as far as the overall quality of the emulation is concerned, it's rock solid, and I think it helps that this collection runs under Limited Run Games' Carbon engine.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
the proof is already there with the Shantae re-release that came out a while back. That they're rock solid.
Yes.
The engine itself is super rock solid. There's the overall the sprites don't show any signs of
blurring,
distortion, and the audio's more or less fine. I can't say it's outright perfect, but for every case, because there's still plenty more where this is gonna come from.
Well,
But
for sure.
Otherwise, as far as the Rocket Knight collection is concerned, I got no complaints.
All right. You know what? I mean, so I guess as far as that's concerned, first of all, Hype, what do you think about seeing Rocket Knight, old Sparkster, back on the big screen?
That's pretty neat. I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I had a particular attachment to this franchise. I've never really gone out of my way to play any of these games, but I know that he's sort of a cultish classic-ish, and I'm happy for people that are really eager to play his games again.
Oh, for sure. Especially now, as I said, they taken so long just to port the original games, even though, again, he got a reboot in 2010 and got 1 or 2 cameo appearances in 2 really out there Konami spin-offs.
I want to say it's his jetpack in particular. I want to say it was that was a huge inspiration for Lilac's Dragon Twirl ability.
I would not be surprised in the slightest, because you just got, in this game's case, you got to hold down the button and then let loose.
Which, okay, yeah, fair enough. Whoa.
What helps too is that whenever you do your rocket boost, you do have invincibility frames, so make the most of that when you can.
Nice. I like that. I appreciate when a game can let me. Well, we're taking on water.
Another thing that's worth noting about this original Genesis classic, before, I want to say most of the people that worked on this game would move on to found Treasure Video Games, and I mean, if it's not immediately obvious, considering all the really fancy effects that this game pulls off.
No, they knew what they were doing. No, I was not expecting a sudden surprise second phase in the water, and then right away just into the next level. Now you are.
Right
now
away,
you have
we literally put this rocket pack on full throttle and go straight up 2D space shooter.
Hell yeah! Okay.
It helps too, considering that Sparkster's native means of attack is just thrusting out a sword, which also lets out a sword beam that Link wishes he could have on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
do these levels like come like once a world, or is like just one like after every boss? Oh, heads up.
These shoot 'em ups don't come too often. Like I can only count like 3 times throughout the whole game you ever come across these.
Oh, okay, fair enough then.
So
Well,
there is, like, one of the 7 levels is fully dedicated to this gameplay style, if that means anything.
okay. Whoa. It's getting a little tight. There we go.
And down goes the serpent.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Sparkster, you might want to watch out for that wall.
What
What
wall?
wall? Oh, that wall.
I've arrived.
And just in time, as the castle is under attack and it's on fire!
Each.
But also so are the mooks.
Oh, ho, ho.
Well, that was your own fault, wasn't it? You should have brought the flammable-proof pantaloons. So, trying to think. So as far as Sparkster, so our main controls are, I know you can, like you said, you attack and hold the button, and then you can charge, and now you're learning here, you can even ricochet off of walls. Whoa, that's some neat fire mode 7. Or whatever it was for the Genesis. So then,
Genesis does.
Nintendo!
Oh.
But as part of the, apart from the slashing, are there any other little effects that Sparkster knows how to do?
Well, if you hold down your rocket button and don't, press any direction of the button, you can do this little, like, sword slash, which is,
Whoa.
that's a pretty handy maneuver in and of itself. But otherwise, like, he can throw out his sword, he can dash like that, and that's more or less all he's got. Oh, and also, you might have noticed earlier, because he's, he is of the opossum kind, his tail actually does make an effective means of hanging on branches.
That's cute.
Aw, cute. Okay, so mix that in with Ricer. Okay, and I mean, already with what I'm seeing, like the ricochet mechanics of the jetpack feel ahead of their time. Like I could see games nowadays doing that, no sweat. But like, gosh, when did this game come out?
1993.
Goodness me! Like a year before I was born, they already had this stuff figured out.
Yeah, right?
Let's
And I'll
see.
still say right out the gate, like, we're already in the first game of the series. I'd also consider it the magnum opus of the series.
Oh, it's the sequel kind of.
The Mega Man X technique. Oh.
It was but a trap, but a silly goon. And
Sure.
Sparkster don't like. For that sprite, Sparkster did not look happy. But you think, so you believe the sequel kind of stepped things back in a few ways?
Yeah, unfortunately. I wouldn't be surprised if part of it's just because, all the key talent that made this game as good as it was moved over to Treasure. Though, not to completely discredit the sequels, like, I still think they're fine to some degree. More so the Super Nintendo version than the Genesis version, because the Genesis version is kind of a downgrade in almost every regard.
Oh. Fair.
Like, is it like the usual suspects, like worse graphics and music, or are there like any other things that make it?
It's mostly to do with its gameplay. Like, aside from changing the way the rocket handles, which I think is kind of a decent improvement, everything else about the game feels very sluggish.
I see.
Huh.
And assuming I do ever get around to beating that version of the game, I'll definitely showcase why I feel that's the case.
Okay.
But then there's the Super Nintendo version of the game, which, aside from literally keeping most of the visual differences with the sequel already has, plays more or less the same as the original Rocket Knight Adventures.
Okay.
Okay.
Right down to how the rocket works.
So for the sake of this collection, would you say that they take more cues from the Super Nintendo versions?
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Well-
Compare, like, when you say that, like, the gameplay is different between the two, do you think this is the better of the two, or more like the lackluster Genesis port?
Well, just with the games in general. Well, actually, before we get further into that,
Oh!
Axel Gear is making off with the beautiful Princess Sherry, because they're going to use her as a bargaining chip to get the key to the Pig Star.
Curses.
That face he's making there, while it was shaking, it kind of looked like a Rigby face.
I could see it with the eyes like, Hambone. It's alright.
I'll get you!
It's alright, anyway, stage 2, fair enough. But yeah, like, do you feel that this limited run release brings the better of the two ports of Rocket Knight Adventures?
It brings in all the games.
Oh, including all
the games aside from the reboot, because that was a 360 marketplace sort of game.
Okay, so
I
it's
never
kind of
heard
like
that.
what that Aladdin Lion King thing did, where it's like they brought in both versions of all the games.
Oh yeah, because
Okay.
by technicality, Sparkster on the Super Nintendo and Sparkster on the Genesis, which was also subtitled Rocket Knight Adventures 2, they're both technically separate games. They just have the same title.
Oh, fair enough.
Interesting.
Okay.
But again, we can get more into that later on, because I mean, after this, I'm pretty sure I can get through Sparkster on the Super Nintendo, no problem. Genesis, I'm probably going to need to get some practice in, though, because that game actually expects more of the player than what the original Rocket Knight Adventures and the Super Nintendo Sparkster ask of you.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, and I see your sword beam can also cancel enemy projectiles. I am noticing, and I know we've already mentioned this, but once again, a gentle pat on the back for whichever developer it was that believed that when you do the rocket boost, you should have invincibility frames. I know there are games, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I know there are games that are not that generous, that are like, oh, we're gonna give you a boost, but you gotta be careful, otherwise you'll take the... No, I like the ability to be able to have a boost, but also, like, use it willy-nilly and have fun with it. Like, I don't have to worry about, oh, am I gonna take damage? Like, no, let me have fun with the rocket boost.
Oh yeah, now if you know what you're doing, you can go nuts with this rocket pack.
I am very curious actually what speedruns of this game could look like if they know where to aim and when to use it, but
Oh, that'd be
I can only
insane.
imagine.
that is actually, I know we're talking about, I guess, like, on a sort of topic. I don't know if it was, like, a specific event that happened today. That thing has a weird head.
Yeah.
But I know that...
Such is the case of many contraptions made by the Nintendo's army.
But I guess on the note of old school games that have really nutso like speed runs, if you know to look for them, the fact that we're getting a gimmick sequel out of nowhere is surprising to me. 'Cause I don't know.
Yeah, that kind of caught me by surprise.
Because
Actually-
go ahead.
I was about to say, like, you guys clearly have more knowledge of it than I do, so feel free to educate this sad old fool. What exactly is Gimmick?
Also, terribly sorry for those that are prone to epilepsy.
For a second, on my end, it's basically thanks to Discord's like screen share having a sort of a limited frame rate. For me, it just looked like everything just went to black, and at first I thought the game just died. But fair enough. Okay, it was a more spectacular explosion than usual. So the story of Gimmick, hype real quick, is that the story of Gimmick is that...
Also, I love that. I love how when you're underwater, you're naturally going up and going above. But if you hang on to these freaking poles, it's like you're hanging on a branch.
I just love the look of his... I just love looking at his face, like with his hands on his hips, like, well, what you
Like,
gonna
he's
do?
just so dead-eyed.
Oh yeah, no, like for all intents and purposes, Sparkster is an adorable little shit. And I mean, it really is a shame that again, his series never really went very far past the 16-bit era.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, now what? You got me
I'm
here.
waiting.
Can you breathe underwater?
Oh yes, you can. You don't have to worry about losing oxygen.
Okay.
That's good.
What was I going to... Okay, so the story gimmick. The story gimmick is pretty simple. It's a Mario-esque kind of story where you play an adorable little green plushy thing, which was basically this... Basically, the way the story goes is that this little girl... Actually, I guess it's also more like Toy Story. Little girl...
Shit.
Little girl has a lot of toys, and you... The gimmick...
I'm
pretty sure you have a
Could
name.
be the worst place to get sent back to.
Let me Google what his name is really quick, actually. And I see. If you ever die, you just go back to the start of the screen you were at.
Yeah.
Okay,
Technically,
so...
the checkpoints in this game aren't super duper, like, really bad. They will get bad once I get to the Super Nintendo game, but that's something I can cover later.
Alright, so this is basically the story hype. So imagine that the little green guy, his name is Yume Taro. Imagine that he is Buzz Lightyear, okay? And he's been brought home, and Andy loves him. Loves this toy. It's so cool. And imagine if Woody actually got support from Mr. Potato Head, Rex, Aku... what was the goggles? Was Specs or whatever the goggles name was?
Whoa! Oh yeah,
Watch your head.
actually, yeah, I think it's Specs. Oh, Blinky, that's
Okay,
it.
Blinky. And I assume that whenever you jump, the minecart just tracks your movement perfectly. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Yay, thank goodness. Okay. I was worried about Donkey Kong logic. Anyway, imagine if Woody and everyone else...
Because this be predated Donkey Kong by about a year.
Please, I like this stuff. Yeah, imagine if Woody and everyone actually got all on board on the same page of, this sucks, I don't like that Andy has a new favorite toy. You know what? Let's come to life and expose the fact that toys are alive, and let's kidnap Andy and bring him to another dimension as our prisoner, so that we could be... so that we could be his favorite forever. That's basically what's happening, is that Yume Taro, the green little guy, he was a new toy for a girl and became the girl's favorite. all the other toys no longer felt loved and were jealous, so they kidnapped the girl to another dimension. You have to save her.
Wow.
Ha.
And the whole crux of the game and gimmick was that you can generate stars by building them up, and the stars is that oh my god, yeah. I don't know why it's called gimmick other than that, but fair enough. The whole shtick it has is you can generate stars that you can throw, and they double as projectiles. But also, I don't know if it's required.
Watch out! Chicken coop.
Oh my!
Chickens!
Get out of here, mother. And
Oh.
well, at least
Also, it's true. I guess it's true after all. Chickens can fly.
I was
Aw.
gonna say, that chicken's been sticking with you for a good while.
Is
And
it?
now he flew the coop.
Okay, I thought it was like, do we get a pet now for the rest of the game? But fair enough.
That would be funny, but alas, now.
We get this weird robo train, but yeah. So the whole thing is that you can generate stars, you can throw it at enemies, they're projectiles, but also I don't know if the game requires this, but the speedrun absolutely takes advantage of this. You can also, depending on the trajectory you throw your stars, basically I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. Basically, James, it kind of works like an Animal Well. It kind of works like the frisbee, except it bounces. Except it bounces up and down like the ball, or kind of like the yo-yo. Basically, you can throw the star, and then the gimmick, and then the Yumetaro can actually jump and stay balanced on that star as it carries him through the level. If you know what you're doing. And this game came out in 1992. And they had this like really unique like physics thing, and so basically if I were to look up right now gimmick speed run, people who know what they're doing to like jump up and down, they can beat the game in less than 10 minutes.
Sheesh, for real?
Oh yeah, it's not a super long game. Speaking of, let me look at Rocket Knight on speedrun.com for Rocket Knight Adventures. The current world record is about 26 minutes.
Wow.
26 minutes 50 seconds, but still. So
They're really smart with their rocket launches.
because I mean, from what I'm seeing, like I'm not saying there's a downside yet, but these bosses have quite a bit of health. Nice.
Yeah.
But no.
And the sad part is he's not even finished yet.
Are you serious? They're just blasting his arms off twice.
Persistent.
Oh. Oh, the cannon there. I assume the invincibility frames last until you land after you do an attack.
Yeah, when you do a rocket launch.
Okay.
Obviously, got to be a little more careful if you're just swinging your sword all willy nilly.
Oh, nice.
Ouch!
Oh. Come on.
Got him.
Oh, nice. Phew.
God,
Yeah.
Lordy Almighty! Look at that flicker.
And this was stage 2.
Oh yeah, no, and it's gonna get harder from here.
Oh no. Well, fair
Yeah,
enough.
as games tend to.
I mean, fair enough. It's got to
Especially
be.
if it's a game from the '90s,
It won't be a venture, and it wouldn't be a venture unless we earn it. Fair enough.
right?
I'll look up the stage list here, just so I'm aware. Stage.
No real fanfare there. It's just in stage 3.
Let's see what I can find. So now
I guess while
we're
you
up to
find, I
Yes.
guess since we were talking about difficulty, would you say that this first game of the series, would you say that's like fairly consistent with its difficulty, like it's like a gradual curve, or would you say there are like any particular spikes that we haven't gotten to yet?
It curves for the most part.
Whoop.
but I did notice that I do like the detail that I thought it was just something to obstruct your vision, but you also have to actually literally use the reflection of this lava to see where platforms are.
Oh yeah, no, that's honestly pretty clever.
So, whoa.
Also, it's unfortunately by this point where you got to be a little more careful with your rocket shots because it's kind of like the Sonic 1 problem where over time the levels are more so catered to just making the most out of your natural platforming skills as opposed to just going all nuts with the speed.
Right. But yeah, no, I think that's already a little clever use of like having to use the that as like the effect of like where to jump from. Fair enough. All right, I'll give it that. Let's see. So there's a couple stages in this. At the very beginning of this game. At the very beginning of this game, or at least when you launched it anyway, and showed off like that cool 2D animation, was that like all originally done just for this collection?
Oh yeah, no, that was all done for this collection.
Huh. Fair,
Not
solid
bad
work.
to do. It's pretty good animation.
I wonder if it's the same people who were doing that one Tomba animation thing.
Tomba animation.
Well, I think
or-
because
or
Limited
is that-
Run
or
are
is
also
that-
the people. I was about to say because
Go ahead.
Limited Run are also the people that are doing that Tomba remaster, right?
Right, but I didn't notice any new animation that was made for those Tomba games.
Oh, the Tomba 2D animation there, that was for the game proper?
Oh, that was from the original, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you know?
You need to
Yeah,
keep
no,
that
like
thing.
they didn't, you know, they didn't skimp out on that intro.
Fair.
No,
also,
they didn't.
my,
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
especially because they announced Tomba 2's coming as well now.
Yeah.
With the
Even
Giggling
before
Flowers.
even before the first game's remaster came out, that's honestly kind of impressive.
Giggling
Yeah.
Flowers and all, we must be ready.
And it's gonna it's
Those
gonna be
fucking
interesting
Giggling
because
Flowers.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's gonna be interesting because I've only had experience with the first one. I keep forgetting that there's a second one.
Most people do. I won't blame you.
Oh. Let's see what other big things were announced today. Again, I don't know if it was like a retro games convention, but I was not expecting as many announcements as we got today, including Bubsy's getting a trilogy collection, as the world
Yeah.
clamored and was waiting for.
Also from Limited Run.
Which, you know, it's kind of funny in retrospect, considering I mean, we've already had like a Bubsy collection of sorts on Steam called, like, I think it was called Twofer, which
Yeah.
had both the original game and the sequel.
Mhm.
And I think they were running off of the BeastNES emulator. They pretty much were they packaged it with the BeastNES emulator, or one of those emulators. I forget which one it was. Maybe it was
Bismusk or
SNES.
or something like that. Yeah.
Whatever the case, it was emulated.
Gotcha.
But I know for this new collection, they're pretty much going to use Carbon again, which I'm sure means it's going to mean the quality is going to be better. At the same time, though, it's also Bubsy, so you know, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, it'll only help out so much.
Right, especially now that this collection is also going to bring us Bubsy 3D.
Yeah, and apparently Game Boy Bubsy games that I didn't know they made.
Me neither.
Oh yeah, no, there were ports like for that you'd least suspect, and you know, it's nice that they're going out of their way to to release all of them because I think that's what a good collection should do.
To this day, I've never beaten the original Bubsy. Never beaten it. I got to maybe I
I've
think
only
level
beaten
3.
Bubsy 2, and that's only because that game's pretty short, depending on how you play it.
Right.
I've never beaten any of them.
Bubsy 3D, I know I played, and there is still a part of me that genuinely thinks that if I could have some quality of life features, like being able to actually have a working
Fish.
camera, lava
Oh.
fish. Like if I could,
Oh,
oh my, oh, this is one of those kind of bosses.
yes.
Man.
Hey, don't watch
Thankfully,
your
if you know what
stuff.
you're doing, once its weak point is exposed, give it enough slashes and the fight's already over.
Okay, I was gonna say because the fact that it's speeding up like that's a little like nuts for me. How fast that goes.
Yeah, like eat your freaking heart out, Eggman.
Okay, and what is this weak point?
Just wait. There he is.
Oh,
There.
It's the pilot commanding the thing.
aha, fair enough. Oh dear, here we go again. Yes, he does it. Okay, now it's up there. That's going super fast.
Oh boy.
And I assume if you get gobbled up, that's also it. That's also it for you.
I don't think you can actually get gobbled up. It's more so the lava that'll. I mean, maybe the body will hurt you too, but it's primarily the lava you want to watch out for.
Okay. Whoa, what are you?
Crap.
I thought you were about to just jump straight into the lava, but okay. So one more phase should hopefully do it.
Thankfully, the lava doesn't kill you, but it does take half your health.
Oh, gotcha.
That was probably
Oh.
not the smartest move in the world.
I'm actually amazed that you managed that though.
On the right side, whenever it does launch out its fireball attack, it also occasionally drops a banana. If you're lucky, grab it.
Oh, those have been your healable items.
Yep. That was dumb.
Oh,
Oh, okay, now it's one hit in a dream. Here we go.
okay. This guy needs to spit up bananas and soon.
Here it comes.
Oh,
Oh. Okay. Let's see if we get lucky.
Give me the naners, man. I need my naners.
And just be very careful and don't fling for. Oh, there's a couple easy ones. Nice.
Ah,
man.
Okay, he's packing a little bit.
man,
of a
I've not
punch.
been lucky with this damn hog.
It's all good. It's all good. Just
I probably should just stick with the sword slashes next time he pops out.
Okay. It's the varying speeds that it does that throw me off. Like, I'll be like, I could see
Yeah.
myself missing a jump because I expect it to be fast and it just slows down automatically.
Yeah. Sad thing is, this isn't even the hardest fight in the game. And
There,
now,
There you
oh,
go.
Caught him on his way up. Oh, right. Yeah, my thoughts exactly, Sparkster. That
You
was
and me both, Sparkster. You and me
the
both.
fact that he keeps that
Man.
phrase, that expression the whole time.
Man, these freeze frames can get hilarious depending on the situation. But yeah, that all said, the pigs are getting away. But thankfully, the king of Zebulus has come up with a
Oh.
plan.
I'm gonna shoot a cannon at it. Well, what's in the cannon? Yo.
You. Oh.
Ahoo!
Doesn't that seem like
Well,
a bit of an
ow.
oxymoron? I mean, you're already a jetpack wielding. You're basically a human cannonball yourself.
Yeah, but who's to say you can't use the extra speed?
It is the best. And right away, we're actually starting right off with a boss.
Yep.
Oh no.
Princess Sherry? No, it was a fake.
Captain
Well, that's just
Fleagle.
mean.
Fleagle's a pathetic little
Oh.
ship. But he's a pathetic little ship that can get the best of you if you're not prepared.
So we just got it. There you go.
Oh,
Wait until the just wait for the screen to spasm, and that oh my gosh, those bombs are actually pretty potent.
Yeah, no, they hurt. Ish.
This theme is wacky.
I will definitely say by stage 4 the difficulty does start to spike a bit.
okay.
And we're not even at the point where it actually does start to spike yet.
Oh dear. Well, for now, this can be tedious. It's like trying to how many bombs? Come on, come on.
Looks like it is really finicky to like angle the shots.
But he's
Okay.
dealt with. Now then.
Now, we gotta go outside the ship.
Oh, I mean, this makes sense.
Oh no.
Is it possible to actually get flung off this entire ship if we're not careful?
I think so.
I feel like
Maybe
that's
not in
it.
this section, but I know a later section you will.
Dear.
Oh. Like they really knock you
These barrels
back
are
a
not
ways.
helping.
The devil damn, they knock you back a ways when you get ahead.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay,
and
that was
I-
okay, I'll admit that one was kind of on me.
okay, so it's like Donkey Kong a bit. You gotta like just. Oh my
Oh.
god. Ah, jeez. Ah.
Ah.
Oh,
Oh.
And the jetpack is
Come on,
nice, but even if the jetpack collides with a barrel, it throws you.
I mean, like, honestly, I feel like that should have been something you could cheese, where it's like, if you hit the barrel at the right angle, it could actually propel you forward.
Neener!
Yay. Okay. Right. And I agree. Like to be able to like actually like bounce back or ricochet. Oh come on.
How much longer do I have to? How much more does it have to take to me to knock that Smeagol off course?
Just a little bit more.
Not much more.
Goodbye.
Oh, he was one doing all the barreling.
Hello
I
there.
have you now. Oh shit!
Oops.
Oh my.
Now we gotta climb under the airship, and obviously, try to be careful if you jump off.
Yes. But thankfully these guys take a single hit and
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, we have a jetpack.
hooray.
That's right. We can fly.
So did you ever play the 360 reboot, James?
I did, and the sad thing is that's actually the only. Up until recently, that was the only Rocket Knight game I ever beat.
Was
Oh.
it like any good compared to this one?
I'll say this much. It is, it's better than the Genesis game. That being said, though, if you're not, how do I put this?
If you're not familiar with it, or
It's fine enough. I'll say this much. It's still pales in comparison.
Ah.
Fuck this.
yeah, no,
I was wondering if we were gonna use
I,
that.
because I assume we'd have to do that whole boss fight again if we didn't.
Yes.
Damn.
But yeah, I think I get what he means. Where it's like it's fine in a vacuum, but if you're like intimately familiar with the source material, it's a little disappointing.
A bit, yeah.
Aw.
Not to, especially, it's kind of like that song. It's kind of like playing a Sonic game that was handled by a different writer that doesn't share the same views as you.
Oh, okay. So it's like Sonic.
It's
4.
one of those kinds of experiences.
Also, random note. I like the detail that random detail. I like the detail that when you rewind the rewind timeline bar is it's the UI dresses it up like your jetpack
Aw.
fuel thing.
Which is clever.
Oh,
Oh,
But yeah, no, like, I think the Rocket Knight reboot. Well, okay, reboot. It's actually a sequel. But otherwise, I think it's fine. Like I'd say, if I were to compare all the games, I would probably put them up like this. Like at the very top would be this game. Second would be would probably be. Actually, shoot. Now I think about it, it probably would be a toss-up between Rocket Knight and the Super Nintendo Sparkster, and then the Genesis Sparkster would probably be at the bottom.
Okay. Bananas.
All right, now for probably one of my least favorite bosses in the whole game. This thing.
Oh.
The Fliegelbot.
The Fliegelbot likes to dance like it's no tomorrow, and bring the whole remnants of the airship tumbling down.
And every one of those things deal damage. My goodness.
With the power of pelvic thrusts.
How do we stop that?
His weak spot is that red thing that opens up.
Commence the jiggling, y'all. Oh my gosh.
If you're not careful, you're going to lose all your health before you can actually get that thing down to half of its health. And that's not even the end of the fight either. Once it's taken down.
As far as like knights go, our armor, we have no shield. Like we have no defenses at all, do we?
It really depends on the attack. Ow.
Oh.
Man.
Start. Okay, at least we can start with somewhat full health, but okay, we gotta be careful now.
Right.
Let's see. Someone just says make small back and forward movements to avoid the debris. So like forward and back
more
and
or less. Forward and back and then forward and back and then forward.
Oh
and
gosh.
Back, and put one foot forward.
and right. And then someone recommends.
Oh, there we go. That's it.
Oh!
But now
what do you
that's not the
know?
end of the fight, because now we still got to worry about Smeagol himself. And this guy moves fast and hits hard.
Which is funny because
Like
like,
so.
it looks like all he's doing is just the old-fashioned like helicopter move of like, if you get hit, it's all your fault.
Yeah, more or less.
Someone is.
But yeah, you more or less get the gist of the fight.
Yeah. Someone also recommended that like you can also like if someone I don't know if I would do this, but someone's saying like for max damage, if you go from the far left of the screen and aim up at the wall diagonally, you can ricochet right into its middle.
Like this?
Yeah. But I mean, experiences may vary. They say that it only takes like 2 to 3 hits if you do it like that, but
Yeah, I mean, I was able to one-shot it in the last time, if I'm careful with my jumps and slashes.
Alright, here we go. Okay.
Now I gotta worry about Smeagol again.
I would say rewind though if we get hit again.
Or was it Fleagle?
No, that's Fleagle. That's still Fleagle.
Okay.
He just gets all messed up and hurt and stuff, but he's fast and like the whole screen is shaking. And... But this is a cheese way though. He doesn't jump at the edge.
There you go, Koopa Stomp him.
Well, there you go.
Because you also be mindful, if you try to sword slash at him, he'll jump.
Oh, then yeah, we'll just a couple more. There you go.
Jerk.
Stage 4
Let me
done.
regain my composure there.
Just as he does.
Meditate. Breathe.
Listen, being a Rocket Knight for a day is a stressful job. Sometimes you need to just sit back, relax, and go to your inner happy place.
And then
Maybe that's a little too far back. So before I forget, because now's when the difficulty starts to ramp. Like, I mean, the difficulty's still gonna ramp up, so better safe than sorry.
Of course, I didn't even see any propulsion. I don't even know how that's moving, but after them.
Now
Oh.
Now we've reached their base of operations, and now, thankfully, we put our rocket pack on full throttle again, which means time for another 2D side-scroller shooter.
Yay.
Alright.
Someone's saying right off the bat, go to the upper right corner
Okay?
and just chill.
They'll never touch me.
Oh, maybe that.
Never
touched
mind,
you.
they touched you.
Lies and deceit!
Oh, that's it. They said during the plasma blasters, this section go to the upper. No, because then that would still hit you. I don't know.
You know what? I think your manual is
Alright.
wrong.
Probably this. When was this Game Fact first last updated? This was they're smart. It's a walkthrough for the Genesis version by Anonymous.
Oops.
So you can never tell who to throw eggs at.
And I need the Super Nintendo version, not the Genesis version.
Rocket Knight Adventures itself never got ported to the Super Nintendo.
Oh.
Which is funny, because I think I did hear some some point they were considering that, but I think that just ended up being the Sparkster game anyway.
Gotcha. The sequel. Right. Oh.
Right, because again, it plays the same.
Okay, that was a little funny. Just the one dude was like, I held on too long.
Again, the world's fate may be hanging in the balance, but never hurts to have some levity in this kind of this steampunk environment.
Okay, this literally looks like the guy just stole a weapon from Gradius, and you have to shoot the core. This is just a Gradius boss.
Whoop.
Who made this game again?
Konami.
Yeah, this is this is 100% a Gradius boss.
Totally.
For hypes to know, old Gradius bosses literally looked like that, where they would have like a little bubble. It would be like a very narrow passageway, and you have to shoot your projectiles to first, get rid of the little shields, and then destroy the core.
I don't doubt it.
So, woo.
Yeah, sorry at this point if I started using my rewind privileges.
We're getting to the hard parts.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the point where the game actually starts, whipping its dick out and shit.
Oh my!
Like
you
that.
weren't kidding. The quad one.
That is a massive whip it did.
And to go all the way back, yeah, okay. Let's just. Yeah, no, this absolutely feels like a Gradius boss fight now. I will say, boy howdy, I wish this was like Gradius, and I wish we had some freaking options.
Would be nice. Alas, that is not the case.
I love
I
that.
forgot it actually did that.
I love that it actually looks like it legitimately is just made of bullets.
Yeah, exactly. A whole lot of bullets.
It's a bullet kinesis.
Nice.
Ooh.
There you go. No more.
Thankfully, that's it for this section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Stop!
Ow!
I gotta stop using my head.
oh yeah, by the way, meet the most devastating minions of Devatendos' army. The Metal Workers. They are completely indestructible, so avoid them.
They look like the freaking. Actually, with their helmets, they look like the freaking. Oh, I see. We got a race ahead of them. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they look
What
like.
do they look like swap bots?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah, they straight up look like the SWAT bots from Sat AM with the helmet.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Oh. But maybe checkpoint?
Oh, I'm sure that's not gonna take me back too far, right?
Yeah. Okay. In full health. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, may as well do well on the full health.
Wonder if it's possible to like use the rocket to like go further ahead,
Shit.
because it looks like it's not that easy to just jump.
Oh. I saw that. Nice.
Lucky break.
Uh-oh.
Now run.
Oh, they can jump? They can jump.
Yes, they can jump. They can jump. I repeat, they can jump.
Move it.
They have legs. They know.
Can they
how
jump
to-
this far?
I would have loved that they like if most of them ended up making like a human bridge just for one of them to still chase after you.
And cut
Yeah,
immediately
bro.
to the to be continued meme of like, oh,
Uh-oh.
was that support?
Now the whole complex comes tumbling down.
Oh shoot! It's an auto. Great. Kirby. This is my least favorite room of Kirby of Return to Dreamland. The fact that we're going to have to eventually revisit this stage in Return to Dreamland HD with it.
Listen, I'm pretty sure we'll at least have better luck doing it when we return to that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Before we return to the return. If we don't call our playthrough the Return to Dreamland, I'm gonna cry.
I mean, I'll leave that up to you to remember.
Yay!
I'm genuinely looking forward to when we get back to that.
The old
Me
fat
too.
boxes and. So let's see. So, decided to look into it a little bit since we're. Oh, okay. It's kind of good. This is giving me some. This is giving me some freaking Earthworm Jim kind of vibes now. Suddenly, with this. If we crash, what happens? That happens. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, it just stops, dead in its tracks.
All right. Well, take two. So let's see. So we have So looking into it, because I may as well get into some of this since we're already past halfway point. So Rocket Knight Adventures was designed by a Mr. Nobuya Nakazato, the designer of Contra, Alien Wars, Hardcore, and Shattered Soldier.
That's a heck of a privilege.
Oh,
Amount of vitality. There are 4 difficulty options.
I do recall recently that I forget the place in general, but there's this whole place that's dedicated to showing off the very original artwork for all like the promotional material for these games.
Uh-huh.
And I know it's somewhere in that website. I was able to find an original concept for Sparkster
Oh,
that looks so much different than this. And honestly, we dodged a bullet.
Thank goodness. Is it in the gallery of this? In the gallery mode of this collection?
It's not. It should have been though.
Because I
It
want.
absolutely should have been.
Because I love those where it's like, this is what it could have been.
They wanted to spare your virgin eyes.
Oh,
boy.
Here we go.
Oh dear.
My other least favorite boss in the whole game.
Hey Axel, what's up?
Axel Gear decides to hop onto a giant pig meat. Ow. Which is a one-hit kill.
Oh god.
Ow.
I was really thinking
So
that.
that's not even the. That's not even the point where it gets hard.
Fair.
For now, you just have to worry about trying to escape it.
Yeah.
You know, just
this
a one-hit
seems-
kill. It's not that hard.
For an obstacle course that you're not going to know your first time through, this seems, for little children, this suddenly seems very...
Whoop.
I would rewind that.
Yeah, let's rewind. I
But-
can actually, again, just gun it with your rocket.
I guess that's what... I honestly, I guess that's probably what they're, like, trying to hope that you do. Nice. Like, things like that, yeah. Ooh, got
That
it.
was
Ooh.
really risky of me.
Oh, we want...
Hey, you did,
Come on, you were
oh
so...
man.
I was like, you had that. It was just you got stuck.
But to be fair, I'm at the point where I can actually...
Oh.
Now we get to do a good old game of Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
How fair is this?
Very unfair.
Oh.
Especially considering that this is your attack. Basically, you gotta be very careful when you attack and when the Axel Gear attacks.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it really is just Rock'em Sock'em. Okay, he's backing up. Okay, it's fair enough. React, like, wait for him to strike and then counter it. What's he doing? Get back here.
Right. They'll also, don't attack too early because he can get the jump on you.
Now, how many... Now, okay, so it's 2 hearts of damage. Okay. I was like, is it a one-stick
Yeah,
one
2
hit kill
hearts.
again? Oh,
Oh, but thankfully I lucked out.
hey!
There you go.
Goodbye, Axel. So,
Okay, thankfully that's the worst this game ever gets. I think from here on, aside from some bits of level design, I'd say we're more or less in the clear.
okay. Alright, sounds good. Alright, so let's see what else I can find here.
He says, lying through his teeth.
I think we'll be fine. Whee! We're already up to, I think, what stage are we up to now? Oh, don't.
Stage 6, I want to say.
Don't hit load. You almost hit load. That would have been sad if...
We've actually reached the princess and Devilgus. Devilgus, who made off with the key that Sherry possessed.
Oh.
And now he's launching himself straight to the moon. That looks like a pig.
That ain't no moon.
But thankfully, Princess Sherry knows a little bit of magic that can help us.
Oh.
Now, we're heading after him.
Very well.
Off to the Death Link.
Did I get a helmet to breathe in space? Nah.
You're a
Breathe.
cartoon character. You already know how.
That's the best part. We don't. So another shmup level. All right, let's do it.
Yep, the final one, and this is a full-on Gradius homage.
Oh yeah, the
Okay.
spinny heads. The okay. Let's see. Okay, so what we're doing.
Also, this is the only level in the game that is 100% a space shooter level.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, it makes sense. We're on our way. Let's see what I can
Pretty
find.
much our swan song for this little gameplay gimmick.
What are the apples for?
Their health.
Okay.
They give you 1 heart. They replenish 1 heart.
Okay. Cool. Alright, so let's see what I can find here. So when this game was being released, the Sparkster character, a la the whole, Mario, Sonic, and all that stuff.
Right.
As James previously mentioned, this was to be like their competitor. So much so that this kind of became Konami's like official mascot for a while.
For a very short while.
Yeah, until they gave up on that, accolade.
Yeah, it stinks because again, the first game's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it has
And it's
personality.
not like
it's a cool little
nowadays where Konami has their own like a new franchise that they cherish as their mascot. Like,
Ooh, Pyramid Head.
well, I was gonna be a joke and just keep it blank, but I guess that's also
Oh, like-
true. Actually, I'm not
Oh,
sure if
but,
that
yeah,
is
like,
true,
yeah,
because
this
that
one
would
mascot,
require
like,
them caring about Silent Night. I almost said Silent Night.
Silent Night,
But no,
Deadly Night.
But no, that's fair. I love the ability. Yeah, they have wonderful like franchises
Buzz Lightyear.
Oh boy!
like that one and
Also, watch out! Axel Gear's got a cannon!
Oh!
that's
Oh man,
imagine
I
that's a one-hit
missed.
kill. You gotta go back and reload. Yeah, let's see what else I can find. Also the other answer I would have accepted, hype, is that right now Konami's new mascot is their cease and desist lawyer.
When
let's
is
see
he
what
gonna
else I
get
got.
his next installment?
I want that, right? But anyway, so a spin-off game, Sparkster, was released in the same year as Rocket Knight Adventures 2, yada yada yada. There was Rocket Knight in 2010 by Climax Group. That was the one that had that remake, whatever, or sequel.
Probably should be said. Among their resume, Climax is also made, but not limited to, Silent Hill Shattered Memories for the Wii,
Oh.
and SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge for PS1.
That's
Okay.
right.
And Game Boy Advance.
Some solid games, some solid licensed games there.
Solid-ish.
Solid-ish, like you're solid like B, your B movie, B.
You know what?
tier.
If there's anything I will always say about Super Sponge till the day I die, its soundtrack is much better than it had to be right today.
Yeah.
And
I
wasn't
agree.
that the one? And was that the one that actually got Mermaid Man's voice actor to be in it?
Yeah, it
Yes.
does.
So give that props over Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, and everything else Mermaid Man got his name attached to.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Also, rest in peace, Ernest.
Oh, for sure. Let's see. Sparkster has also appeared as a playable character in other games, such as New International Track and Field for the Nintendo DS.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
He was on iOS in the game Crazy Kart Racing.
Oh yeah, basically the iOS equivalent to Konami Crazy Racer for the Game Boy Advance, which also you can play as the likes of Sparkster, Frogger, as well as Pyramid Head and Robbie Rabbit.
Oh.
Quite the peanut gallery. The other ones I see here is that he also has a couple cameos in one game called he was in Gambari Goemon.
Oh yes, he in his original outfit he could be found in the sequel,
Cute. And then
and I know he also made a cameo in Snatcher,
nice.
where funnily enough he was among the crowd watching this girl do a pole dance.
That's right, the nightclub scene.
Yes, Sparkster was in that crowd.
Which I do want to still do that game for the channel at some point, but again, do note that if we do it for the channel.
Should we do that before or after Matt starts doing the Metal Gear games for us?
I think doing it after Metal Gear will be fine because I mean there is a funny joke with your actual. Basically, there is a Metal Gear in Snatcher hype, but as opposed to the normal Metal Gears, this Metal Gear is basically like your freaking like. He's almost like your Weebo from Flubber, like your sassy, snarky like sidekick throughout this adventure. And there's this.
Ouch.
Oh boy. You know,
And there's
since
this whole.
you-
Go ahead.
I completely forgot I was this low on health.
That's fair, but
since we were just talking about Metal Gear, we also need to ask Matt if he's willing to show off that one feature from Metal Gear where you can have Snake, skateboarding on the rectum.
Oh, that's right. It's the freaking skateboard from the two.
oh yeah.
From the substance. Ow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Which apparently that in and of itself was like made off the engine of another Konami crossover game where they had a bunch of their characters on skateboarding as well.
Huh.
Was that a crossover game?
Well, I don't know if it was a
Oh.
crossover, but it was made on the engine of that crossover. And I remember because that crossover game also had characters like a Simon Belmont and the Great Quest Frogger.
Huh. I'm trying to tell what our hitbox is. Is it our
What a weird team up.
nice?
Yeah.
I was trying to tell what our hitbox was. If it was our helmet or our body or
It might be the body, or maybe it's the jetpack for all I know.
fair. But there we go. Nice. So yeah, no, I'm up for covering Snatcher, but just do know that Snatcher, if we do it, it will very much be more like it'll be kind of like our oh god, I'm forgetting the freaking name of it now. The games that Icky did with us.
Oh, AI Somnium Files?
Yeah, it'll be more like that, where it's primarily a visual novel, but it does have some gameplay elements, but it's primarily a visual novel game.
Makes sense. That all said, everybody, welcome to the final stage of the game.
Oh boy, the Pigstar.
The big star.
Let's see. The other thing I can
And right off the bat, we actually get a one-on-one fight with Lord Devilgus. Or Devlagus. I keep forgetting it's
Oh.
Ugh.
Well,
He's a
I
big
appreciate
boy.
that he is willing to face us right away. Nice.
Oh.
Although it took a lot of damage.
Like,
Ow.
So did we.
So did we.
Let's see. A figure resembling Sparkster appeared in the alternate ending to Contra Shattered Soldier.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that.
Oh, and he was of course one of the pixel puzzles in the Nonogram pixel puzzle collection for iPhone.
that's neat.
I'm just saying, I know it would be a tough ask considering, that this company doesn't get to do much aside from, like, the very rare, like, gem or whatever. I would love to see the digital entertainment division of Konami actually make a new Rocket Knight game.
Right? Or like even like as we were saying, like even doing something simple.
Oh,
Ow!
It was
he
a
kills
robot.
you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rewind.
Yeah, so, okay, so the fact that that counts as an attack. So he's a robot.
Yep, all this time Devlagus wasn't even real. He was just a robot.
And now he's mad. But yeah, so apparently, but even looking at this Pixel Puzzle Collection, I don't know if this is a Konami. I think it is a Konami game, but just like, I would not mind if they did a new Picross like a crossover, kind of like how they did with the Sega Saturn thing, all the sprites in that Picross game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that one Rayman monogram game that's gonna be coming out soon.
Oh my gosh! Please,
Oh yeah, the fan game.
please let that come
Uh,
out. So I want to
oh.
play it so badly. So,
So by the way, that wasn't the only robot of Devlagus that's currently in development.
Oh,
gosh.
boy. Oh, you gotta fight
Yeah,
him.
there's more in the pipeline where that came from, but thankfully 2 good shots is enough to take him out.
Okay, okay. But great, we have a whole army being made to fight us now and take over the world. So I
So
decided,
that being said, it does make you wonder, where even is the real Devlagus?
right, like, if he ever,
Assuming there even is one in the first place.
right, for all we know, maybe this is some grand, like, self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, no one. So I decided to look up some of the composers. The first one listed was Masanori Aochi, who later took part as the composer of the Tiny Toon Acme All-Stars game.
Ah.
Interesting.
Let's see, another one.
Before I forget, our final fight with the dreaded Axel Gear.
Oh, the actual villain.
At least in this game, anyway.
He's
Basically, he's gonna do a lot of flippy shit, but so long as you keep on sword slashing him, you should be more or less fine.
I understand what you're going for. I just love the idea of like an actual briefing, like a freaking Metal Gear, like Snake, watch out for the flippy shit. Let's see. Oh, whoa! Come on.
Yeah, if you try to do the same shit he's trying to do, then you're not gonna get too many licks on him. Just keep on throwing your sword slashes at him, and he's pretty susceptible to that.
Okay.
Okay.
One more. Beyond that, another composer, Michiru Yamane.
Oh shit! All right, time for the next phase.
Oh yes, yes. Okay, so what happens next?
Ow! Thankfully that didn't hurt us. But now we have no flooring.
So now you got no choice but to shoot and fly.
Yep, but watch out for his bombs. Or excuse me, his missiles. Thankfully this is all he does for this current phase part of the fight.
Okay.
That's good.
Just as long as you avoid the missiles, or at least swat them away, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But after a while, okay, this might be a little while longer,
Easy does it.
and I'm not looking too good right now.
No.
Aww.
Forget that.
Just to
Bump
save
that.
on time. I mean, on the bright side, he's got a predictable strategy by this point. Otherwise, just don't screw up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't be that hard.
There we go. Now he drops the rest of his load,
Oh.
and all he has left is his own sword.
Oh.
By this point, he's just gonna fly right on forward and then charge right at you.
Okay. So that's our chance to jet ahead of him.
More or less.
Okay.
The timing's actually kind of tricky on this part.
A little bit further. At least, like, the ricochet ends up, like, bouncing us away from his fire anyway.
Yeah.
For sure.
It is a victory.
Yeah, like if you know what you're doing, this fight's nothing.
Oh,
Oh, just like that, we're already done.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Axel Gear. I was about to say Axel Stone for a moment there.
Sayonara, Axel Deicho.
Ah, yeah, in the elevator.
We'll see you in the next game.
What?
Again, like I said, like Axel Gear's the closest thing that this series has to a main antagonist, considering he pops up everywhere.
I
Which
mean,
is funny
fair enough.
considering he's not even the
even
main.
when there's like a. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny you say that because like he's not even the main villain of this game.
Well, it's funny because he's in every game, but every game always has a new opposition that threatens the peace of the world of Elhorn.
Right.
Ow.
I'd say if
Right.
anything, I think it's more more accurate to say that he's like your main rival than your main enemy.
I suppose that's true. But then again, he is the character that Sparks has the biggest beef with, considering that he essentially killed his mentor.
Right.
That's
and
also
again,
fair.
And it makes for an interesting like conflict that he's like.
It's kind of in the same. You know, it's kind of in the same way. Basically, what's it? Axel Gears to Sparkster as Risky Boots is to Shantae.
Fair.
Gotcha.
And I think it's more. I think it's just more interesting because you have someone who's outfitted with the exact same equipment as you do.
Exactly. Kind of like a Sonic and Shadow scenario, except this guy never really turns good.
Which does remind me of one of those favorite little bits from the IDW, the Metal Virus arc. The whole like Sonic's like disapproval of Metal Sonic, like still sticking with Eggman no
Also
matter
pay
what.
heed. While the gravity is incredibly low, you do have a chance to charge up your rocket boost.
Good. So the closest thing we get to a space jump then.
More or less. It actually helps too, because we're actually more or less we're just about there. We're almost at the climax of the game.
Okay. Now, what were you saying about Metal Sonic, Logan?
Oh, the in terms of like Axel's like motivation and stuff, it just reminded me of that one like one of those like one of my favorite little interactions that I've seen in passing of the Metal Virus arc of Sonic just disapproving of Metal Sonic wanting to be evil, even though he didn't like have any reason to be. Like he had a complete and perfect out when Eggman lost his memory, but oh. So all along, frickin' Demigus or whatever, Devil Gus was frickin' the Sigma virus.
More or less.
Wow.
Oh, but he's a little
So,
bouncy
so
ball.
long as this machinery is bouncing around, its main weak spot is the that red
Button?
orb thingy up top.
Okay, so just hit the big red button.
It's like a conductor, actually.
Fair enough, but it can also shift positions. Oh, jeez.
Yep.
The main.
Also, gotta admit, I do kind of find. I think it's kind of funny how goofy the final boss theme actually is
Yeah.
compared to everything else you've been hearing in the game.
Yeah.
I just find it funny that the main. I just find it funny that the main villain, the final boss here, is essentially just a giant ball of gas.
Yeah.
Everything's yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
But that's not all he has.
Rings.
Yep. But not the good kind of rings that Sonic collects.
Fair.
They're more like Rinkas in Metroid. Probably the single most annoying thing in existence.
Oh, thank God for invisibility frames. Where's the damn button?
There it is.
Nice. See, I'm worried that the boss is going to become this, though, where it's just waiting for an opening for the Oh, nice! Okay, he is showing his weak point more often. I thought it was going to be like, wait another 30 seconds to get another shot in.
Oh yeah, no, he never gets. He doesn't get that bad after that phase. Oh shit. Now it's just a matter of if I can actually aim for it correctly.
Come on. Nice.
Oh, now he's gonna start whipping out something a little more dangerous.
What's that?
But thankfully it's a little more predictable to dodge.
Okay, so it just goes in a little spiral.
Yep.
Alright, now this music's starting to get a bit more intense.
Yep. Now we're going back to familiar territory.
Apparently, Michiru, I think it's Michiru or Michiru Yamane. Basically, the symphony, one of the Symphony of the Night composers worked on this.
Oh, nice.
But you know, CD quality, this is not, but it's still fun.
Oh yeah, no, like I'll definitely say, like it's definitely got a different vibe than everything else the series has, but I think it's got a very nice charm to it. It's kind of like you definitely notice it even in the Japanese version of the game. It's like every stage starts off with a whole like orchestra, literally, you know, doing the whole song based on your triumph.
Yeah.
Or your eventual triumph, anyway. And that pretty much permeates throughout the entire game.
Just a bit more.
Damn rings. Jeez. Yeah, by this point, maybe I shouldn't have been so reckless.
Well, I mean, I kind of figured we'd be like down to the last hit already, but he's putting up a bit of a fight, and that has a lot of projectiles to it.
Yeah, way too many projectiles. Yeah, I might have to call Mulligan there. Allow me to remind the audience that I'm technically playing on the easy mode of the game.
We haven't had to do a continue yet, thanks to Rewind, but
Yeah.
but the fact that hard mode is one life and you die immediately with not one but at least 3 insta kill.
Oh, that's it.
Nice.
Yeah,
It all feels
we did
good
it.
and fair, but there we go.
The pig star shall be no more.
Wow.
So we should probably get out of here.
Stop posing, Sparkster. Yeah,
You
no,
and me both, Sparkster. Let's go.
no kidding.
Thankfully, there's a exit shuttle right to the right. And we're off!
Back home we go.
Goodbye, pig star.
Ah,
You are a blight on all space kind.
And without it to no longer, have a big old weapons factory on it, that should then also... Oh, I see that. That should now protect all the world from it. No more worrying about a key.
Nope. The Zebulos can rest easy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that doesn't mean that the game's over yet.
What?
Yeah, this guy is desperate to a fault.
So now what's he trying to do?
He's gonna try to get the last laugh on us while he's falling down to Earth's orbit.
Okay.
Thankfully, by this point, you don't really have to worry about attacking him. You just wait till we get to until we start to breach the Earth's atmosphere.
Again, props. The animation, like the expression on his face, looks like truly like hate. That's a pretty good looking expression.
Hate, hate, hate!
I hate possums.
I hate peach-loving possums.
Man.
All right, we're starting to breach the orbit.
He's gonna burn up on entries.
Surely this thing can't survive past that, right?
Come on. Let it burn
Durable
in on
will
it. Burn
guess
up an
full,
entry.
ain't it?
There you go. Very well.
Thankfully, we'll be okay in here, right, Sparkster?
Right,
Well,
Sparkster?
if that blew up, then wouldn't it also mean that we're gonna
Don't worry, we make it out A-okay.
Okay. I thought we were about to crash. Don't worry, we'll crash nice and safe in that conveniently placed castle, and then we just
Castle?
it just shatters.
But yeah, the day was saved thanks to the efforts of Sparkster, and like a gentleman, he brings Princess Sherry back home to the king.
Ta-da! How are you related? She's twice your height.
Growth spurts are kind of a bitch, depending on the ass.
I'll leave you
Yeah.
to
But
it.
we'll just let them have their little family moment and
Hold on.
peace on out.
Off to another realm.
Off to an adventure elsewhere.
Another Rocket Knight adventure! Venture! So yeah, nicely done there.
Yep. Aside from the, how shameless I got with the rewinds after a certain point, I'd still say that was a pretty smooth run of Rocket Knight Adventures.
I mean, it's the classic old Nintendo hard sort of thing. So I mean, I was expecting
/ Genesis Hard.
/ Genesis Hearts. I mean, and like you said, like the fact that they throw one insta kill things at you on a dime at some points, I feel like it's for the sake of convenience and quality of life. I appreciate a good rewind feature.
Right, like especially in the 4th and 5th levels, like those got especially egregious with the instant death scenarios, whether it be dangling below the airship, having to deal with Fleagle's freaking Danceotron 9000,
The Wiggler Jiggler.
or doing Rock'em Sock'em robots with Axel gear.
Right. But I mean, the overall music, again, the controls of the jetpack itself, like it's excuse me, it's remarkable that like with the speeds that you can reach and the angles that you can pull off, like it feels like it would be something that would be broken and would lead to you clipping out of bounds and having like no, but it from the footage I saw anyway, it seemed to be remarkably tight and deliver on the ability of just being a jetpack powered, platformer.
Yeah, and I honestly think it should stand to a testament how solid of a 2D platformer this game is, because, like, I'd say out of all of the, pretenders trying to ape Sonic's success, I'd say this is the closest to actually achieving that and then some, because it controls really smoothly, and the rocket path physics are just... they're sublime.
Nice. Well, I mean, which I'm glad that this collection now allows people to play it on a modern console. Support, hopefully, the
Assuming you want to shell out the $30 for it.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're able to support the developers somehow, and then I'm curious to see what the sequels will hold.
I'll say this much, like, the Super Nintendo version of Sparkster isn't too much worse than this game, so I think I can say we'll have a fair amount of fun times with that one as well. Even though they do get a little more liberal with how open-ended the level design can get.
Okay.
And also how more vicious the enemy variety can get. But otherwise, I'd still say, again, the first game is pretty much the magnum opus of the series. And for those that have not had the chance to play it, whether it be emulation or with this collection, I would say that's a huge disservice, and you should give it a shot.
Give it a whirl. What did you think, Hype?
I'm pretty pleased with how everything turned out. Like, aside from the little spikes here and there, I think it looks like a pretty fun time.
Nice.
And yeah, don't worry, you don't get much else beyond that. Like, you'll get the whole congratulations, and then they'll tell you to try normal mode or try easy mode or something like that. Or if you beat it on like hard mode or whatever, I think that you unlock like an additional harder difficulty. I could be wrong on that. Or they might just give you a whole like congratulations, you're a super player sort of nonsense.
Yeah.
But that's really all there is to it. Not much more than that. Which, thank God, that's really as far as it should go.
Yeah. Oh, that logo takes me back.
Yeah, before, back to a time when Konami weren't such dickbags.
Yeah.
So, alright.
So yeah, that's it for our time with Rocket Knight Adventures, everybody. Next time, assuming I do go back to the series, we're actually not going to start with the direct sequel, which again was on the Genesis. We will be doing the Super Nintendo version, because again, this one, it serves as a decent enough interpol compared to the first and the second games, because it controls more or less the same as the original game, while still carrying over some of the visual improvements from the sequel. And it takes place on a completely different landmass than Zebulon, so it serves as a nice side story for Sparkster.
That was a cool little freaking 3D thing they just did on that bullet.
Yeah.
This had 3D in it. Look at that.
That's right, the Super Nintendo has Mode 7 capabilities. Make the most out of it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, with that all said, everybody, next time we're going to start on Sparkster. So, till then,
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye.